Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Michael here. So this is going to be part 2 of the comparison between the MSP and the RS, but this time around it's going to be about the pedals like I said in part 1. And so we're going to look at the Nikola pedals that came with the MSP in comparison to the standard pedals that come with the RS model. It's cold, man. It's cold today, so I'm going to make this quick. I'm just going to blitzkrieg through it. So without further ado, my dudes, let's dive into it. I'm not going to edit this. I'm going to try and just make it in one shot. So, to start with, if you want to remove, let's start with the hardware. Both of the pins that hold the two pedals, they're secured by the same kind of hardware. So you have a pin, and then on both sides, it's the same kind of stuff. It's a hex nut that you use a number 5 hex key to loosen and remove them, and then there's a set of spacers that come between the pedal hangers and the pedals. So they're the same, so it's interchangeable. And sometimes the pins are kind of hard to remove from the wheel, from the pedal hangers. They're kind of sticky, so you might want to get one of this stuff. I got this from Walmart. It's a set of pin punch set, 6-piece. All works. All you do is just take one of these, get a hammer, whack it, and you're going to be in business. So that's the first part. The second thing is going to be, why did the Nikola pedals, why was it installed on the MSP wheel and not the original pedals that came with the MSP from factory? So back in at the beginning of the year, when they were releasing the MSP for review by some of the YouTube reviewers, the feedback from the guys was something to the effect, the pedals had this steep dihedral angle and not everyone liked it. That was the first thing. And the second thing, I believe the pedals were a little bit smaller. So if you bought your wheel from E-Wheels, I believe Jason asked Gotway to make it standard for all the wheels that they're going to be selling to have the Nikola pedals. And by that I mean this kind of pedals, so they are much bigger in comparison to the original ones, I believe. And the other thing is they had to shave it so that it eliminates that dihedral angle to it, because I believe if you put the original Nikolas on the MSP, either way you're still going to have that dihedral angle. So they shaved it from factory and then gave it a much flatter profile, just like the way the RS comes standard with the angle that comes standard with the RS pedals. And second thing, we're going to look at the shape of the difference in shape between these two pedals. If I remember correctly, this kind of shape in high school, we used to call it trapezoid, something like that, trapezoid shape. So it's part of like a triangle, half of like a section of it. And in comparison, the RS pedal, if I remember correctly, we used to call this kind of shape parallelogram. And the shape of these two pedals makes the wheel be either interchangeable or not interchangeable. For instance, the Nikola pedals that came with the MSP, you can put it on either side of the wheel. So you can take, like for instance, this goes to the left side of the wheel. You can swap it and put it on the right side of the wheel. But for the RS pedal, it's more side specific based on the shape of it. And if you look at the shape of, I call this place where the pedal sits, I call it the wheel well, the pedal well. So if you look at the shape, like here, if you look at the way it's shaped, the RS pedal fits onto both of them perfectly. But the Nikola pedal, because of the way it is, it doesn't. No, I'm way off. So if you look at the, it's basically it's interchangeable. It's interchangeable on the Nikola pedals, but not on the RS pedals. This is more side specific. Now, the third point, which already I had started going on to it, is the fitment of the pedals. So if you look at the RS pedals, it fits on both the MSP and the RS perfectly. There's just a little bit of clearance differences. I'm going to show you guys when I turn the wheels. I'm going to install this and then show you some of the things. So this is the MSP, and I have the RS pedal on it, and you can see it fits. And this is the RS with the Nikola pedal on it, and you see it fits onto the pedal wheel. But if you take the Nikola pedal and you put it on the MSP the way it came from factory, from e-wheels, it's a little bit bigger than this pedal wheel thingy that I just said. So it kind of sticks out of and touches the upper part of the shell, so it doesn't fit in there. The other thing is the grip tape on it. Things, if you look at it, it's super grippy. To me, from the look of it, it's like a sandpaper with like 60 grit on it. And on the RS model, you have this red stuff, all this red rubber. And the thing is, I have a theory about the RS. This thing is smooth. Like riding this wheel is just amazing. So I came up with a theory which I could not back up most of it. So the thing is, I was like, the smoothness of this wheel is a combination of like 3 to 4 things. One of them being the 2600cc engine, and the other thing was the lower pedal height, which lowers the COG and all the physics stuff. The other thing was the 18x3, and the other thing was the size of the pedal, and this rubber stuff, right? So when you put your foot on the pedal, it doesn't touch the grip tip directly. So you stand on this rubber material, and to me, to the best of my knowledge, you use rubber to dampen vibrations, right? So you're standing on the rubber, and then you got the sole of your shoes, and then the insole of your shoes. So you have layers that dampen vibration. By the time it gets to your foot, it's like minimal. So to kind of experiment with that, I took the RS pedals and put it on the MSP wheel, and the ride was just amazingly smooth. And the other thing, being part of that theory, was the size of the pins. If you look at the pins, they're different sizes. This is the pin that comes with the RS. This is the Nikola pins. They're different because if you look at the RS, I call this part of the pedal the root of the pedal. So that is just my definition of it. If you look at the way the RS is and the Nikola, the Nikola is much short because they kind of like, I think it's supposed to fit the Nikola like this, but it's much shorter. It's not, it doesn't extend all the way to the end of the pedal. And the RS, on the other hand, it extends all the way across the pedal. So what that translates to naturally is the pin on the Nikola tends to be a little bit short, so that you can fit the hardware and the pin. And on the RS, it tends to be a little bit longer because of the longer root. Now, part of the theory was the length of the pin plays a role in dampening the vibration. So I decided to like look into it. Let's just say I found myself reading about some Polish physicist with the equations, and I knew it was time for me to get out of there. So I don't know if the pins make a difference. If you're one of those smart people who knows about vibrations and how vibration travels along different materials, different lengths, I'm open to ideas. But again, that's the other thing. There are two different pins. The pins are of the same diameter though. So you cannot install the Nikola pedal with the RS pin on it to any of these. It's not gonna fit. It literally sticks out. So you're not gonna have enough space to put the hardware. And the thing, if you swap the Nikola pin on the RS pedal, it's gonna be really sketchy because it's gonna have a lot of room to play. I don't know how far it can move in there because the hardware gets up to this point and that point, so you're gonna have a lot of play, and I don't think you want to find out. Personally, no, I'm not gonna find out. And the other thing is, both of these pedals, they have magnets, and these magnets, They in part 1 of the video you saw me, I showed you guys the magnets that hold the pedals. So they should be opposing polarities between the magnets on the pedal and the magnets on the side panels. So to just prove to you that they are magnets, that's the one on the RS and that's the one on the Nikola. And since they're of opposing polarities to the ones on the shell, if I'm correct, they should be the same polarity on both pedals, so they should repel each other, right? Physics. Yeah, as you can see, they don't touch each other. You can literally feel them repelling each other. But if you flip it, it should attract each other, right? Yep. So as you can see, there isn't much differences. I've gone through why we have the Nikolas on that, the shape of the pedal, the fitment. The RS fits on both wheels. The Nikola fits the RS more than on the MSP, and I'm going to show you. So the other thing about the fitment is, with the MSP, with the Nikola pedal sticking out of the MSP wheel, if you want to like open the pedals, you just flick it. So what I used to do before I put the RS pedals in there, you just flick the wheel, because it touches the side of the upper part of that wheel, of that pedal wheel. So there's a gap between the pedal, the actual pedal surface, and where the magnet is. There's a gap. So the strength, the magnets, they don't hold each other strongly. So all you have to do is just flick it. If you flick it left, it opens. If you flick it right, it does the same thing. But with the RS pedals, the way it fits over there, you can't flick it, because it's like literally touching it. So if you flick it, it doesn't come out. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by it doesn't fit that wheel well. So basically that does it, man. It's cold, and I wasn't gonna record this in the house. I wanted to test out all this lighting stuff. And just a side note, a few weeks, maybe around 3 weeks after riding the MSP, I quickly realized how much damage these things can do to you, man. This is like a safety stuff. So I was riding and I wanted to make a right turn. So the pedals were dipping, and I believe it caught something, because I was launched forward. So what I was trying to do is, I was coming from the street and I was aiming for the sidewalk. And you know, when you turn in the wheel, the pedals are dipping. I believe it caught something, because I was abruptly launched forward. I didn't fall, because I wasn't going fast. I didn't fall. I basically ran off, and the wheel came behind me. And the pedal hit me pretty good, man, behind my knee over here. So I had knee pads, all the good stuff. But again, it whacked me behind the wheel, behind my knee. And the thing is, we gear up, we do all the stuff, but again, these things, you never know. Every crash is different, every incident is different. But be careful. These things, if things go to hell, these pedals can do some serious damage to you, man. And what else? There isn't much, man. Like I say, I'm not planning to edit this. I'm just gonna put it out there the way it is. So right now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go and put one pedal on each wheel. So I already have an RS pedal in there, so I'm gonna put a Nikola on the opposite side. Then I'm gonna show you how it doesn't fit and how I can flick it. And then I'm gonna put the Nikola pedal, well, the RS pedal on the RS wheel, and try to demonstrate the same thing. Okay, so I have the Nikola on the MSP, and as you can see, this is the pedal wheel, and this is the upper part of it. And as you can see, it sticks out on the front part of it. So when I said flicking it, so every time I want to ride the MSP, all I have to do is just flick it like that. Now, but if I put the RS pedal in it, it doesn't come out because of the way it fits. And the other thing which I kind of forgot, the pedal hangers on the MSP are a little bit higher. So if you look at the gap between the RS pedal and the top of this thingy, the well thing, the clearance is so small. Let's say maybe 5 millimeters, and you're gonna see the difference when it comes to the RS. So again, that is what I mean by flicking it. And yeah, let's go to the RS. And now, like I said before, all the pedals, both the Nikola and the RS, fit the RS pedal. So either way, you can oh shit, kill switch. You can flick it on either side of it. The pedal hangers are much lower on the RS. So even if they raise, as you can see the gap in here, this gap over here, you have a bigger gap. So the pedal hangers sit a little lower. So if they raise the pedal hanger, you have almost 1.5 centimeters maybe. So yeah, that does it for this wheel. Okay guys, so that does it for part 2 of this whole comparison. I'm gonna do a part 3, which is gonna be the T6. And yeah, so I should catch you on that one. Man, it's cold, so stay warm, man. If you're riding, if you're a rider, have fun, be safe out there, man. Catch you guys on the next video. Das vidanje.